Today, we have something brand new, something super fun for you guys. We have a guest on our channel. So today's guest is Nichole Lauren. We met her at the Creative Educator Conference, and we are so excited to collaborate with her. So today, she is going to take the mic, she's going to take over this channel, and talk to us about building a freedom-filled business. Now, you know we're all about this. We are building a business that supports our life, not the other way around. And we love to streamline, automate, make everything as slick as can be so that we can enjoy doing the things that we love. We can enjoy traveling, we can enjoy hosting, playing games, playing sports, getting active, being outside. All of those things are possible because we have a business that supports all of that. We have a business that makes it happen so that then we can go out and live our lives. So you know we are all about this, and we cannot wait to hear what Nichole has to say about it. Let's go ahead. Let's jump right in. Here we go.
Hey guys, it's so great being here on Cameron and Tia's channel. My name is Nichole Lauren and I'm a wedding photographer and small business attorney, and I met these two over at the Creative Educator Conference back in January. And something that struck me about Cameron and Tia was that they are just so genuine and also extremely talented. So I am so excited that they have invited me here on their YouTube channel to talk to you about a topic that's really close to my heart. So today we're going to be talking all about finding success, that's true success, in building a freedom-filled business. I started out as a senior photographer back in college. I started my business as a junior in college, very humble beginnings, and I grew that business into a wedding photography business that I carried on through college and post-college and also through law school. And so it was always a side hustle, it was always a part-time thing for me until about 2 years into private practice as an attorney, and I realized that it was something that I wanted to take full time, and I never thought that I could actually take it full time. I never thought that that would be a realistic or responsible thing to do, and maybe you are in that same boat. You've thought those same things before. And so I kind of got to a breaking point. I was like, this is not working. This life is not what I envision, what I want. And I remember having this epiphany moment and thinking, if this were my last day on earth, would I be really excited and happy with how I spent it? And the honest truth was that the answer was no. And so I knew something had to change, and it was not easy by any means. There was not a lot of planning involved when it went to me going full-time in my business. I definitely was, in a good place, business-wise, financial-wise, but not anywhere near where I thought I should be if I was going to quit and go full-time into my business. But my husband was a great support, and that's really how I kind of made the leap into it, and I've just been so thankful to God ever since. I hope that short version of my story was encouraging to you, but I really want to touch on the fact that there is so much in our world, social media, online, on the internet, literally everywhere, telling us constantly what success should mean to us or what it should look like to us. And I remember falling into that trap, and that's kind of why I stayed in my 9-to-5 job for as long as I did, because I thought that was responsible. I thought that was the right thing to do, what everyone was expecting of me, right? And so if you're in that world, if you're a business owner, I'm sure you are if you're watching this YouTube channel, but if you're a business owner, you're probably having some of those similar messages come through to you as well. It's not a bad thing to want to make money. It's not a bad thing to want to grow your following. But what I've really found, especially in the past year, is that there's so much more to success than numbers and dollar signs. And I know that you agree with me. I know that in your mind, if you hear me say that, you're like, yes, I am on board, Nichole. Like dollar signs, numbers, follower count, that's not my true worth, that's not my true success, right? We know that in our heads. However, I can almost guarantee you that at least one time per day, maybe more, you're having thoughts where you're comparing yourself to others, and you're looking at those metrics and you're saying, oh my goodness, so-and-so made multiple 6 figures this year, or so-and-so is already booked up with weddings this year. Or maybe, that person has 10K followers on Instagram and I only have 1,000. And it's these metrics that we use to measure our success against other people in our industry and to tell us whether we're doing well or not so well. And so today I want to challenge you with this idea. What we're going to dive into today is talking all about how those numbers and those metrics are not the actual measure of true success. And even though I know you know that on the inside, we need some reminders posts every now and again, right? So if you want to do this exercise with me, I'd love for you to take out a pen and paper and start jotting down some notes so that you can follow along and get the creative juices flowing. So if you have your pen and paper out, or if you need to pause this video, take a second and do so. The first thing I want you to write down on that piece of paper are all the messages that you get about success. What success looks like from the outside in, right? What are those messages that are coming through? Maybe it's you need to make 6 figures to be a valuable, profitable business. You need to grow to 15K followers on Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest. You need to have 20K months, whatever it might be. Write all of those external factors of success down on the paper. Once you have that down on the paper, I want you to look down at that list and circle the ones that you actually agree with, the ones that you think are true success. Honestly, and more probably, you might not circle any, and so that's okay. But I just want to see if there's anything that you are hearing that really is true success in your book. Then after you're done with that, I want you to start a new list. You can either turn the page over or just go a little bit further down on the page. And I want you to write what actual true success would mean to you and your business. So another way of looking at this is in 5, 10 years, or maybe even 1 year down the road, if your business was in the ideal place that it could be, how would your business look? How would your business feel? And also, how would your personal life look and feel? I want you to write those measures down. So for me, some success indicators, things like being profitable, actually profitable in my business, doing what I love to do, and being passion-filled and creative in my daily work. Go ahead, take some time and jot your true success indicators down below. All right, now that you've done that, I want you to take a look at your list as a whole. Now I want you to look at the things that the world is telling you is successful and what you actually think to be successful inside. When we have all these messages coming at us from all different angles, it's so easy to just adopt them into our minds as truth. And we think, oh my goodness, if I'm not measuring up to this metric, then I'm not successful. I personally don't have more than 3,000 Instagram followers as it stands right now. I also don't have more than 300 YouTube subscribers. And I also don't have more than 2,000 email list subscribers. You would probably consider that a pretty small audience by the world standards, right? Even though to me, that's a lot of people, right? Having 2,000 people in my back pocket, being able to communicate and serve that many people, I think is huge. And if I were to see a room filled with 2,000 people, that would be crazy. But we often don't think about that, right? We get desensitized to things like that. But by the world standards, my audience is fairly small. However, I've been able to consistently make passive income from my YouTube channel with a very small following. I've also been able to have 4-figure launches from my email list. My purpose in telling you all of this is not to brag or to say that I've made it, but to share with you that you can achieve what you want and the success that you want by your internal standards wherever you're at. No matter your audience size, no matter your dollar amount that your business is bringing in, you can achieve that success for yourself. But the way that you have to do that is to start looking at the success indicators for you and reminding yourself, maybe you have a goal this year. You want to reach 10,000 Instagram followers. I would take a deep dive and think, okay, what are the reasons that I want to do that versus is that actually going to be profitable and helpful in my business? And if they're not aligned, then maybe that's not the best goal for you right now. I'm a big believer that profitability trumps popularity any day. You don't have to be popular to have a profitable business. And we've seen this time and time again. Another thing that I think is so important that the world does not tell us is that serving trumps scaling every single time. So if you're growing your business focused on serving and focusing on what you're passionate about and how you want to communicate with your audience, that's gonna get you to success far better and far faster as opposed to if you were just focused on scaling. So let me give you one more example. So at the conference that I went to with Cameron and Tia, I went into that conference and I was really excited about increasing my passive income in my educational shop this year. It's still something that's on my radar, but after going to the conference, I really decided to pivot and invest more in one-on-one services and offering that to photographers and creatives. When I went to the conference, I had 4 course ideas. I was going to create 1 course per quarter this year and launch them each quarter respectively. Once I went to the conference and I was talking to all the people there, and I was in a small group with Hope Taylor Photography, which she's amazing. And when I was in that small group, it really kind of dawned on me that I was approaching my passive income and scaling my business from a place of scarcity and thinking, okay, everyone's telling me that in order to have a sustainable business, I need to stop trading my time for money and I need to scale. I need to have passive income, things that can just run in my sleep that I can make income from. And again, I'm not saying any of those things are inherently bad. I think they're a great part of a cohesive, overall, holistic business plan. And passive income is still part of my business plan too. But I remember kind of having that light bulb breakthrough moment in that small group and thinking, okay, I've really been focused on scaling, when I really actually, my heart wants to be focused on serving. And there wasn't anything wrong with scaling, right? I wasn't like money hungry and only in it for the money, but I was coming from a scarcity mindset thinking that everyone was telling me this is what I needed to do to be profitable. This is what I needed to do to have money and success and abundance in my business. So I was actually ignoring the desires of my heart to actually be in it one-on-one with my coaching clients and see the wins firsthand, because that's where my passions really lie. What really helped me get that breakthrough moment was being around other like-minded creatives who had the same kind of values as I did. And so I would encourage you, if you're in a spot where you're feeling like you're in a rut, if you're feeling like you're chasing after success and it's like chasing the wind, get around people who you can be accountable to. Get around people that have similar goals and desires as you, that can help you think about things maybe a little bit differently. And make sure that you're doing the things that you're passionate about and not just following someone else's version of success. All right, that was a lot of info we covered in a short amount of time, but I just want to remind you of a few key things. Profitability trumps popularity every time. Serving trumps scaling every time. So make sure the next time you hear some sort of success indicator, some sort of success metric, you're looking at it through the lens of whether that is actually success to you, and only adopt the thoughts that align with your version of success. And then lastly, make sure you're getting plugged into a group that can keep you accountable and can encourage and inspire you to think about things differently. Thank you so much for joining me here on Cameron and Tia's channel. It was such a pleasure to be hanging out with you guys today. I would love for you to follow along on my YouTube channel, my Instagram. You can also check out my podcast, the Self-Starter Podcast. And if you're a photographer, I have a free guide for you that I'll leave a link for in the description. It's the Full-Time Photographer's Playbook. It's an absolutely free 30-page PDF guide. That was my exact game plan when I quit my 9-to-5 job and went full-time into photography. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.
Oh, wow. That was all so good. We are so thankful to Nichole for taking time to pop up here and chat with you guys about all the things that she prioritizes in her life and her business. Now, like I mentioned, we met her at the Creative Educator Conference. If you are someone who is exploring heading out to conferences, heading out to workshops, on her podcast, we are chatting about how to network like a pro. And it is not just showing up and chatting and having some prompts and knowing what to talk about. It requires intentional planning. And so we are talking about the pre, the during, and the after about how to network like a pro. So go check it out. The link is in the description. You can hear us on her podcast. Thanks again to Nichole for showing up here and showing out. And until next time, bye.